I'm Janice Hossteger. After 3 decades in the marketing business and many years of being an entrepreneur, I've learned a thing or two about marketing. Join me as we talk about marketing, small business, and life in between. Welcome to My Weekly Marketing. So hey, and welcome to another episode of My Weekly Marketing. Today I'm going to talk about something that I find fascinating, personality types and how they affect sales. Friends, this is super powerful, so I'm excited to be doing this episode. Just a note, I share a lot of information in this episode, but I'm offering a free download in the show notes at myweeklymarketing.com/15. I just don't want you to feel like you need to pull over and take some notes if you're driving. Also, in the midst of recording this podcast, my Chihuahua, Daisy, went a little ballistic at the front door. So if you hear something that sounds like a yelp, that's my Daisy. When we first moved into our new house here in Austin, Texas, I swear every day for the first few weeks, people came to our door trying to sell us pest control. Now, if you know me at all, I had pest control scheduled way before we moved a stick of furniture into the house. Before moving to Texas from Minneapolis, I had read horror stories online about scorpions, tarantulas, wolf spiders, snakes. You get the idea. So I was pretty annoyed that people kept coming by our house to try and sell us on their services. But then we started having issues with the first pest control company that I had called, and it had come out once. They just didn't show up as scheduled and they didn't call back. So I decided to find another service. But instead of going through the stack of business cards that were left at my door, I went online to our neighborhood Facebook group and asked them who they recommended. Then I did my research, I called them and I talked to them, and then I hired them. Something I didn't know about myself in that whole process is that I fit into one of the sales personality types. I like to do my research first, then reach out to a business before they connect with me, and that's true of 76% of people. But if a business reaches out to me first, I don't want to do business with them since I hate being pressured. Also, I take my time to think about a purchase, and I like to get to know the people to get a gut feeling about them before hiring them. So today I'm going to be talking about the 4 types of buyers and how you can sell to them. Now keep in mind that most prospects will be a mix of these 4 personality types and won't fit neatly into one of these 4 categories. These are more archetypes. But once you're familiar with these core personalities, you'll probably see yourself and other people you know. More importantly, you can and should include these elements in your marketing and sales strategy. I'm going to talk about what to include on your sales pages to connect with each of these types of buyers. If you're not familiar with what a sales page is, check out episode 12, which is all about how to create a high converting sales page at myweeklymarketing.com/12. You can also find a link in my show notes for today's episode. Okay, so starting out here, the first type of buyer is the assertive buyer. So number 1, assertive buyer. Assertive personalities are goal-oriented and decisive. They're impulsive buyers and similar to the characteristics associated with Enneagram Type 3. Assertive personalities are driven by their competitive spirit. They focus more on achieving outcomes rather than nurturing personal connections. They're driven by what they know they want. They're likely to start by Googling what they're looking for, so Google search ads or a strong SEO ranking on the search engine results page will help you sell to this type of customer. Assertives prioritize the bottom line and value tangible, concrete information. They don't want fluffs, they just want the facts, ma'am. They're efficient. They like quick access to information to make a quick decision. If you have a conversation with them, they'll tell you exactly what they're looking for in your product or service. They're also quicker to buy with less time devoted to persuasion. So how to sell to assertives? They value professionalism. If you're in a conversation with them, make sure you know all your statistics and can give them an idea of their return on investment. They want to know about concrete benefits. With this buyer, it's better to tell them, I don't know the answer, but I'll get back to you, than it is to try and guess or give them a fluff answer. Assertives appreciate efficiency. They want to cut to the chase. So on your sales page, emails, and your social media, emphasize how your product will solve their problems. They want to know why the features of your product will be helpful to them. Don't just tell them what you offer, tell them why you offer it too. Give them details of how your product will make their life better. And assertives are competitive. Use that to your advantage to show them how your product will keep them a step ahead of their friends or other businesses if you have a B2B business. What doesn't work with assertives? They don't care about your personal opinions or really the opinions of others. So testimonials that gush about how much they love your product will not sway it for them. For this type of customer, make sure to include testimonials that share facts and figures. And since assertives aren't great listeners, keep your statements short and to the point. Fact-based bullet points on your website and in your email are perfect for this type of customer. So the things to include on your sales page: factoids and figures. Make them easy to spot on the page, make bullet point highlights, and of course, you'll probably always want to make sure your sales page is SEO friendly, but it's especially important for assertives since they will take to Google first for a solution to their problem. Okay, so that was assertives. The second type of buyer is called the amiable. And I got to tell you, this one's probably a lot like me. People with amiable personality types love personal relationships and want to know, like, and trust the people they buy from. They love challenges and they love to check out creative or unexpected solutions. They won't do a lot of research. That means you can and should guide them through the purchasing process. Unlike assertives, amiables don't make quick decisions. They want to establish rapport with the people they do business with, and they might seek out other people to get their input. Amiables are great listeners, and they like to be liked. They might take steps to get to know you more on a personal level. They will be friendly, calm, patient, laid back, and informal. They are risk averse, so they tend to want to get opinions of others before they make a purchase. So how do you sell to amiables? First of all, they're visionaries. Help them see the possibilities of what their life could look like with your product or service. Share some personal parts of your life on social media or on the About page of your website. Amiables love to connect with the person you are rather than just the product you sell or the business that you run. Share testimonials of your customers' success stories that talk about why they came to you or what they love about your product and what changes have taken place in their life since using your product or service. Instead of overwhelming an amiable with information, help them through the process and act as an advisor or an expert. They value personal relationships. And give them a guarantee. Since they're risk averse, having a warranty or guarantee will calm them down and make them more likely to purchase. What doesn't work with amiables? First of all, rushing them or pressuring them. And confrontation, they don't like conflict and they will shy away from it. So on your sales page for an amiable customer, tell them about yourself and also use your platforms such as social media or your website to give people a glimpse into who you are personally and show that on your sales page too. Include a video about you and your why to appeal to this type of buyer. So again, the amiable buyer wants to know about the people behind the company, not just the product and services that you offer. So the third type of buyer are the humanists. For humanists, like the amiables, personal relationships are really important. They tend to make decisions based on their emotions and are often concerned with the well-being of others. This personality type will want to know how the decisions they make affect the people around them. They tend to be people pleasers, but they are also persuasive and convince others of any strongly held convictions that they have. Humanists are creative, outgoing, and spontaneous, and they rely on their intuition. They value mutual respect, loyalty, and friendship. Loyalty is especially important, so promising them something and then backing out of it could be a deal breaker for this type of customer. They also tend to be enthusiastic and really colorful. And like amiables, they want to bond with you and feel connected on a personal level. But like assertives, they are also sure of their beliefs and speak more in statements rather than in questions. So how do you sell to a humanist? First of all, give them case studies. They want to be reassured that you're looking out for them, and they want to know that your business made an impact on other people's lives too. They value long-term relationships, so let them know how you do that through ongoing customer service or longer-term partnerships with your clients. Also with humanists, show them facts and figures, but they ultimately will want to know how their buying decision affects their life on a human level. You'll also want to frequently summarize during the sales process to make sure they're following the impact of your product or service in their life and the lives of people around them. So for this type of buyer, include on the sales page a video of how your product or service will impact their life and an easy-to-follow process of how to buy and testimonials about happy long-term customer relationships that you have. Okay, last one, number 4, analytics. Those with an analytical personality love data, facts, and figures. They're no-nonsense people, and they look past the flowery pitch and get straight to the facts. Be prepared to field a lot of questions, and don't be surprised if it seems like an analytical prospect already knows you. They'll probably research you in advance. Analytics stick to their deadlines, but they do not make decisions quickly. They care about thoroughly vetting and understanding the options available to them, and they won't jump the gun on a decision. They're more likely to be logical and cautious than any of the other personality types, but once they make a decision, they won't reverse it. Analytic personality traits are that they are less expressive than other personalities, they are concerned with facts rather than emotion, and they won't spend time getting to know you on a personal level so much. In conversation, analytics are serious, direct, and formal. You can be sure that they're listening intently. So how do you sell to an analytic? First of all, never rush them. Be prepared for a longer selling process. They'll want to take as much time as they need to gather all the facts they need so that they know that they made a good decision. Assume that they're prepared and have done their research, and provide as much detailed information as possible. Instead of saying, our product drives growth for many companies, say, our product increased sales in 13 Fortune 500 companies by 25% or more year over year. You get the idea. You can offer more information than they ask for without risking them being overwhelmed, because in fact, they'll probably welcome it. What doesn't work on analytics? Well, like I said, rushing them and flowery language that glosses over facts or overhypes a claim. Making high-level claims without data to back it up is not going to do you any good, and in fact, you'll probably lose this buyer in the process. So for this type of buyer, on your sales page, make sure you include researchable data and use footnotes if needed to make your data verifiable, and text that's focused on the product with just the facts. So what do you think? Do you have all these buying types addressed on your website, your sales pages, and on your social media? If not, no worries. I got you covered. I have a free download available on the show notes page outlining each of these types and how to sell to each of them. Just go to myweeklymarketing.com/15 to download it. And as always, if you like this episode, I would really appreciate it if you'd leave a review on Apple Podcasts or another podcast app. Thanks for joining me this week. It means a lot that you listen. See you next time.